Hey, I'm Mike Fox, and I'm a musician. I write songs, I play a bunch of different instruments, and one thing that I have trouble with as a musician is improvising. Improvising is one of the hardest things you can do in music. I think that I have worked with a method that is going to make improvising not only a lot easier, but also have it come from your true internal spirit, not from trying to sound like somebody else. For me, on trumpet, trying to sound like Dizzy Gillespie or Miles Davis, on guitar, trying to sound like John Scofield. This is a method to bring out the real melodies that live in here for you. So for the past about 6 months, I've been working with a man named K G SongmaN, who runs a jazz group I work with, I play with. And I also have been working with Keisha on the side, developing myself as a trumpet player. And this method is something that he came up with after trying to come up with different ways, A, B, C, until you get super frustrated, and he just said, you know what, let's just try this. And what this method is, it's so much simpler than, you know, having to practice scales or do anything. Practicing scales is very important. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm saying for improvising, this is easy. The best way to describe it is you just sing. You start, you get something to record your voice, and you sing. You sing about 5 seconds of a phrase, and then you wait 5 seconds and you try to play it, but then you wait more. Well, you know what? This is getting difficult to explain. Why don't I just show you? As I said, you can use any recording program with this method. I happen to use one called Adobe Audition on my Mac. It's for PC too, but literally any recording program works. So let me show you and then I'll explain. Start a recording. At 5 seconds, I'm going to sing a melody. Now I'm going to wait 5 seconds and do another melody. I'm going to wait 5 seconds and do one more 5-second melody. Okay, so right here, here, and here are my melodies. So I'm gonna just get rid of this stuff because I'm gonna have to listen to this and get silence. So I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm gonna get rid of my talking in the beginning. So what I'm left with is my 3 melodies. So one part of this process is you're gonna feel so free, because instead of doing your solos over any kind of chord progression, any kind of music, the only thing you're doing it over is the air. So you have complete freedom. With doing this method, you are going to be able to exercise that freedom and eventually not even need to sing and just play it through your instrument, but we'll get there later. Right now, I'm going to listen back to what I did and figure it out on my horn, and then I'm going to try and mimic exactly what I did. Okay, so now that I've recorded my 3 vocal parts, I worked out at least the first part on my trumpet, and I want to show you basically what to do. So basically my goal is to play all 3 parts on the trumpet, but right now I'm going to start just by playing the first part. Another thing I have to really get you to remember is at the end of this, I want you to delete everything you had just done. These 3, gone, and do the process again. What that will do is free your mind and free yourself to completely go into a new style. And if you're trying, sometimes in songs, you don't know exactly the style you want to do a certain solo in, and going through this process, you might find you get there a lot easier because you're free to do whatever. So let me show you. I'll play this for you again, and then I'll play it on the trumpet. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the first to the second phrase. Let's listen to it again. Let's do the third one. We're going to listen to it again, and then I'll play it on the flugel. So now we're going to put it together. We're going to put part 1, part 2, part 3 together. Now, just like on here, when we take 5 seconds, take 5 seconds when you play on the instrument between each. It's good for your brain, believe me. Okay, so now I'm going to try it on here. One, two, three, 4, 5. One, two, three, 4, 5. Now you're done. So it's going to take some time. Obviously, I practiced a little bit between trying to get all this, but now's the most important part. You get it down and you feel good about it, and now I want you to delete it. And what this is good for is you're going to delete what you just did and you do it again. And as you do this, first of all, you're not going to become Louis Armstrong overnight, or if you're playing a different instrument, a master overnight. You have to give it time. Today we did 5 seconds. After doing this for maybe a week, then you can do it 10 seconds between each and learn 10-second phrases and remember 10-second phrases. Then if you can do that, do 20 and keep going and just keep going. Imagine a solo you'll actually play. You're probably not going to have a solo more than 30 seconds, so I would say do no more than 30 ever. But as you're doing this, you're going to get to places you've never been before. And this is a way, basically, to conclude, to get an improvisational technique within months instead of years. The year's way works, but this works too. And you don't even need a teacher. You're your own teacher. The music is coming from you. The last I want to tell you is a metaphor, that your instrument is now a microphone for the music in your soul, in your heart, in your brain. No more are you going to have to try and come up with somebody else's stuff. The reason that I started doing this, it came out of a project that I play with Keisho, and I was disappointed in my improvisational technique. I'm more of a classically trained trumpet player. I'm a songwriter. I don't really deal with jazz improv much, so I asked him, I said, Keisho, can we write these together and then I can kind of improv off the writing? And he said, no. I want the solos to come from you. And only through that frustration of how am I going to get this guy up to the level that I want him to be in a short amount of time, only through that did he come up with this method of using yourself to be your own teacher. So now, let's delete and start again. Ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-da-ba-doo-doo. Ba-da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, ba-ba-da-ba-da-doo-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Now it's your turn.